worked. Thank you. It should be a certain law that makes it compulsory for organizations. If you're working somewhere, you should be checked. Your mental state should be checked, and it should be compulsory. It should be part of your requirements. Every month or every 3 months, every staff should go to this particular psychologist or this
or
particular
have a therapist just come in.
Yes, therapist, and check everybody to make sure, because that's the only way you can. If you say everybody just go out and check on your own, but when their job is at stake and their payment is at stake, I'm sure it will prompt everyone
Therapy
to
sessions
exactly
in
go
companies,
for this session.
firms,
Every organization,
churches, mosques,
even in
everything.
churches, they should go and get checked every month or every week. I don't mind every week. But
Can you
be
pay?
really,
It's
be affordable. I was
expensive,
just
though.
saying. Well, there should be a law like that. While the senator are working on getting stricter punishments for rapists, I think they should put such law in place. Every organization should, their workers, their staff should always go for therapy, get checked, know your mental state, and it also will boom that particular sector in Nigeria because
why do you have health sectors in
not
church?
even the
In
health
churches?
particularly, just going for therapy.
Yeah, they should just have these people there and let people come. Don't worry, just come. We are here
just
for
come.
you.
Ibe. All right, we're putting on the phone lines now. It's 0817 0000951 or 0810 9510 951. You can send a WhatsApp message or a text message to the number 0701 933 9962. Good evening.
Hello, good evening, Buchi.
Good evening to you. You're welcome.
Yes, so I greet my sister, Olua.
Good evening to you.
Bolu, right?
Yeah,
sorry.
it's Bolu. Can combine them for you. Thank you so much. Go ahead, please.
My name is Olo Lucky, calling you from Bainete.
All right, go ahead.
Now, Buchi, let's say type by type. If a woman is going on the street or the road, maybe some group of boys or boys assault her, maybe take her to a nearby bush and house. All these ones, they are rape in the church, in your house. All these people, you don't know them. All these ones, they are rape. But you can't convince me to know that somebody invites you to a hotel. You carry your 2 legs, go to the hotel, you drink, maybe whatever thing that happened there. You say, oh, somebody raped you. I don't think that is a rape.
Please, what is rape?
Because
I'm sorry, I understand. I'm asking you, what is rape? Define rape, please.
No, this one.
No, just answer now. It is very simple. Define rape.
For me,
now. Me, I'm not arguing with you. I'm not saying what you're saying is wrong. I'm just asking you, define what is rape.
No, calm down now. You ask me now. Calm down.
You were talking, I was calm.
Rape for my own knowledge is something you didn't bargain. I mean, when intercourse occurs without bargaining, without reaching agreement, it's a rape. But when once you agree on it, and at the end of the day, it's not rape again. If somebody invites you to his house, you go. Invite you to hotel, you go. Whatever thing that happens, you don't even come back
because,
and tell us,
because the person invited you to a hotel and you went to the hotel,
that's
and then the person is
a lot of girls right now.
The person is now, you now want to force yourself on her.
Buchi, if this person, you don't know him, why are you going?
What if you know him?
Why are you going?
What if you know him?
You don't need to go.
I think, the word rape is very simple. Yeah? No consent and there is a penetration. That is rape. As long as your consent is not there. Whether me and you walked into the hotel together, we slept on the same bed, or I pulled my cloth in your presence. Whatever trigger is in your head, as long as my consent is not there for you to penetrate my body, it is rape and it is wrong. So any justification you want to use,
there is no justification.
Go ahead.
That's a
Thank you so much.
For that one, the one.
Okay, sorry, it went off.
What you would have said is these are the things that.
Sorry, I'm sorry. Good evening. Go ahead.
My name is Buchi. Good evening.
Oh, bro, my long time.
Good evening. Good evening.
Valerie, hey, I greet on her.
We greet you too.
Buchi, it's taking long. Buchi, I am not talking about rape or what. I am talking about my road.
Very important.
Buchi, I am begging even in the studio, everybody, the Nigerian people, let them beg my governor in the West of Weekend. Let them come and remember the rule of the road. Let them come and do rule of the road.
Okay.
I am begging all the pastors in this Nigeria, all the commissioners in this Nigeria, everybody, all the ministers, let them help me. I'm begging the weekend to remember rule of the road because the time is going. He's forgetting the road. I am begging them. Let them tell him that the rule of the road. See there as you say. I am begging him. Let him remember the road. Very important. But today, no way to enter that community again because of rain. No way you will enter that community again for now. I am begging him. After the COVID-19, as he is fighting for the COVID-19, let him say right about this our road. This our road is giving us sickness every day. This road is giving us sickness. We are talking about the road.
Oh.
If you see our women, even your mate, you call him mama because I will suffer for the road. When you see your mate in my community, you call him, hey mama, help me. You know go know say I mate.
What makes you think me I'm not? You cannot call me mama. But go ahead.
because of all the condition of my people don't there because of the suffering of the road.
It's really sad. Yeah. It's really sad. It's really sad that up to date nothing has been done about the road at Rumodogo.
I am telling you, let the weekend remember Rumodogo. We are suffering.
All right, so Abrahama, how about electricity? While you're complaining of road, I heard electricity. There's power in your community now. How about that one?
Sometimes we are seeing they have do that one. That one now. That one, we are getting that one. We are getting that one. Yes. I am begging him. Even the local government chairman, all the whole territory local government chairman, let them go meeting and beg the weekend for me.
All right.
Let them beg the governor.
All right.
Let him do it for me.
Okay. All right, to Abrahama. Thank you so much for calling in. It's always a pleasure to hear from you.
Hello.
95.1 FM.
Yes, good evening, Buchi.
Good evening, Chima.
I'm calling from Port Harcourt.
Welcome. Go ahead.
Yes, Buchi, I travel home today because each time I travel home, I feel very bad. You understand?
Okay.
I was at home today because I lost one of my uncle.
Uh-oh.
So, Buchi,
So sorry.
AY Brahma have said it all. It's worse every day, Buchi. Every day. The road is getting worse. What offense have this community that fall within the purview of River State? What have we done to the government of River State? Which is first, Rumodogo have a right of way where they pay revenue to River State government. They collect the revenue and abandon a community that fall within the purview, within the jurisdiction of River State. Which is how long have we continued to suffer this way? We are suffering. For crying out loud, where are the people representing us? Samoge, how come you are keeping quiet? You have never mentioned Rumodogo for one day in the floor of the House of Assembly. Are you representing Romoro only, or you are representing the entire constituency of Emoha local government, which is quite precarious? What Rumodogo people is passing through, just like Ewa Brother has said, Uchi, you cannot access Rumodogo community as I'm talking to you if you are driving. You park your car at the junction and you have to stroll. For you to stroll, you have to pee your leg, your finger toes on the ground for you to be able to access this road. This is the situation that we will find ourselves. Uchi, for 13 years, the government is reading out in 1967 when they were created. For 13 years, we have had two sons of Ikwere who have ruled in this state. Uchi, if a community like mine will not have an access road when we have two sons of Ikwere who have ruled as governor, when and what is the hope? Should the governorship position shifted to every other tribe of Ikwere? What is the position? What is the hope of my community, Rumodogo?
Right.
So we are calling on the government of River State, please No matter what you have done, forgive us our sins. Please come and control this road so that my people will not suffer what they are suffering. I cry to see my mother who have to carry her farm product on the head to be able to access road for him to sell the product to the nearby community.
All right.
What have we done, Buti? Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much, Chima, for calling in. 95.1 FM. Last year, do also call back at 0817 0000951 or 0810951091. You can send WhatsApp messages or text messages to the number 0701 933 9962 for SMS as well. And in Kana, a person is feared dead in Gbambwe community in Kana local government area of River State after unknown gunmen attacked the community. So our correspondent was able to gather that 2 other people were left with injuries during the attack, which took place last night. And the president of the community youth, Dum Ali Daniel Bukwe, he actually confirmed the attack to our correspondent. Take a listen to what Daniel had to say.
Gunmen invaded my community and killed 1 person and 2 were left with serious injury. On the 22nd of April this year, gunmen invaded into my community also and killed 1 person and 1 was seriously injured. I don't know the cause of this killing. I am calling on the police, calling on the DSS and the army to come into our aid. Gbambwe community is a peaceful and loving community. We don't have problem. I don't know why killings is taking place in my community by gunmen that comes from another place, invading into my community at night and be killing. Please help my community, River State government, and take us out of these dangerous killings.
Well, I don't know why there should be gunmen at all in any community. It's really sad what happened at Mbwe community. But, we hope it gets investigated and the culprits face justice. 95.1 FM.
Good evening, my sister Buchi.
Good evening to you. Welcome. Good to hear from you, Anya, sir. Long time.
Long time, my sister. Oh, it's still a long time.
You're welcome. Go ahead.
Yes. I just want to commend my brother, Santi Muslim, on that their effort so far in giving back EDC to my community. So I just thank you. For all this while, I've not commended him so far, but I've been seeing him. He's talking on radio, I've been calling those. So I need to commend him with his team of electrical engineers that fix our lights.
Oh, that's good.
Yes, and I must commend him so far. I must thank the community leaders for their effort. Our politicians that are here at the place, anyhow, they have done something. So I just want to put more to his elbow. And the greatest concern now is our solar light, but I know that we can be shouting. There is normal thing. We can talk and talk, but as we're talking, the ears are hearing. This is just help us.
All right.
Maybe still have knowledge. They should just help us and put this NEPA and this solar light in order, so that my community will come back to their former status. That's just my take this evening.
Okay.
I thank you so much for
thank
this program.
Thank you so much, Anya, sir. Thank you.
Okay.
All right. 95.1 FM. Good evening.
Good evening.
Good evening to you. Welcome.
Calling from Akuka Village.
Welcome. Go ahead. Turn off your listening device, please.
All right. Can you hear me now?
Go ahead.
All right. Buchi? Can you tell me the punishment that is attached to rape?
Well, it varies in different states, yeah?
Can you just tell me?
Well, some states give jail term, but I can't recall any states giving life sentence.
It's more than not inclusive.
For now, no, it's not.
Killing the person that.
After raping the person. Those are two, that's different counts.
But I've heard of 15 years.
You will be charged for rape and then charged for murder.
I've heard of 15
So what's your point?
Yeah, my point is this. The problem we have is this. When people are raped, drastic measure is not taken against them. And that's why they continue. If really a measure that is appropriate to that punishment, rape, is being meted on anybody that did that, I don't think it will continue. But what you should know is this. The type of government we are in now, civilian administration, not democracy. If we really were in democracy, I think if somebody is being caught for a crime of that nature committed, nobody from the administration will come for him and will get sentenced. But the issue now is this. If you get somebody wrong on that aspect, by tomorrow you see somebody has a responsibility to write, hey, I bet will come back. And we will continue. But I don't really know. I don't really understand. Well, let me go to my areas, my place here, Akokari. We are living between Okenyi, the headquarters of Echie, and Olakwa, where the worst road is ever seen. And like I'm speaking to you now, if it starts raining much now, we will be going through Aspara, Ebi, or we go through Ososo. And before we go to Ozaya, before we go to Patakon. I know that the road is a federal road. But there are little things that local government chairman can do for us. At least clear that place we follow that, open areas so that the water is going in, so the motors will pass. But it is not done. When you talk about it, you say, federal. I don't understand. So I would want the government of Rivers State to come into our help now. Let NIPU be done. So that as soon as it starts raining much, we'll go through that road. Thank you very much, Buchi Rakwa.
You're always calling his Rakwa like Kwakwa. Do you know what Kwakwa is?
Kwakwa.
Yeah. It's Rafua F. 95.1 FM. Okay, lost that one. We have less than 7 minutes to the top of the hour, and the number is 0817-0000951 or 0810-951-0951. Good evening.
Hello, good evening.
Hi, good evening.
My name is Ozama, calling from my whole community.
Ozama, you're welcome. Go ahead.
According to one of my everyday shouting, Rumo the road. Not only Rumo the road, even Roma war is still affiliated to Rumo the road because Roma war has a link to Rumo the 1 and 2. In the last administration of Rotimi Amechi that consulted the Roma war route, the design of that road is from Rumuji, Rumo 1 and 2 route. But they did from Rumuji stopping at the secondary school, Rumo. That is where contractors, since the first administration of Rotimi Amechi. And until now, nothing has been done in that route. There is no access getting to Rumo if you are going to Rumo. There is no access going to Rumo if you are going to Rumo. All these are in Emoha local government. Every day we have a lot of politicians in Emoha local government. They come to Rumo every day to come and canvass for vote. Every time. We don't know what is really happening. The last administration built a primary school around the whole of the state. Rumo home is uncompleted. If you come to Rumo, I don't think there is zinc. Some part there is zinc, some part there is no zinc. Up to today. The same thing happened to secondary school. So we always beg, not only every time the Rumo the room. Oh, we are all begging. Our beggings have not benefited anything in Wike government. As I'm talking to you, I'm one of the PDP members in that area. But I don't support when things is not going right.
Okay.
We have not our begging has not ever benefited in anything. I could remember when we came to Odeg, he came to Ojins secondary school. That is where he hosted his campaign. He wrote a lot of promises, and we have not seen anything. And this is 5 years, getting to 8 years. So we have not seen anything. So we don't really know what the politicians in Emoha local government are doing, whether they are hijacking. Some people will begin to praise the Emeka Oke. Some will begin to praise Ause. Some will begin to praise these people. What are they doing to remember that community or their clan? Not only Rumo Dogo, Rumuji, Opogo, Rumo Dogo 1 and 2. comprises of them. We have not benefited anything in wicked government. What do we do?
All right.
We want to ask. Thank you.
Okay.
My name remains Ozoma.
Okay. All right, Uzoma, thank you so much for calling from that community and registering your concerns about the current administration regards development in that community. 95.1 FM. Good evening.
Hello, good evening, my sister.
Professor Kitty, welcome.
Thank you. I greet everybody in the studio.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Thank you very much. Let me start for this the issue that if it is any suspicious something that to tell police, my sister, my brother, everybody is here in this place. Because if I remember the role that police play during the Anene, we know that it is not easy to go and give police information. Because most of these police, they even know more than us. They even know all those boys more than us. If you do that thing, and the one that we even go back to go and meet them, that those person come and give us information how to arrest you. And they'll be looking after you. So that is what, not that people are not saying. People are seeing different things that can even lead to many arrests. Everybody is here. Come to that rapist. I just talked that one in first sentence. My sister, what I think that if you see somebody that raped just 3 years old girl, just believe that those person, because the way many people are looking for money now, they are using the destiny of those people, all those small children, to do that kind of thing. Which I will beg the government to make sure say they don't even carry any good eye, look anybody that fall to this kind of offense, so that it will be lesson for everybody. Because here and there, raping, most of the radio River State today, it is only that matter that everybody, one of them is treated. So I want to beg the government to look also the matter. Thank you very much.
All right, including President Muhammadu Buhari and Tinubu, the national leader of APC. They've also weighed in on justice for Owa. And, when you said they use it for ritual to take their destiny, which one is that one again?
Everybody has their own view.
Everybody
and
has their
perspective.
theory.
Because I used to know that they used to use pants for ritual. When did it turn to raping children again?
I
a lot
don't
of
know.
things happen, but a lot of people have their own theory or how they see these things, because probably they've seen that something related to that before, and they feel like, well, that can only be the reason.
Before the next one you hear is that as you step on this ground, destiny has been carried. Well, that doesn't apply to people like me. 95.1 of them.
Oh, I've been calling from the beginning of your program.
Oh, B.O.B., and you have just 30 seconds. Good evening.
Oh, Buchi, it's not enough now. Okay, congratulations. Here, Buchi.
Mm-hmm.
People should have a place to train their children before they start raising children up. This issue of rape going in society, it starts from childhood. How can you see a man and a woman come together as husband and wife? They don't have room where they will separate their children when they are growing. A mother and a father are having whatever they are doing in terms of children. The mind is like a computer. Whatever you study is what it plays back to you. I remember at my own experience as a child, I went to holiday, one of my aunt's place. Right before me, they are doing this thing. They will tell you, come and lie down. The other opposite this thing. I'm talking about what happened in my
please wrap up now.
So you see, when you come out from school, some children, parents lock them themselves inside house. Children are moved there, so let them try to respect the children. So that they will not put it in their head when they are grown adults.
All right.
And then you have to go for them.
All right, B.O.B., thank you so much. Final words, please.
The things on ground right now, it's so appalling to look at these things and not want to shed tears, but I would say oftentimes, let us focus on the right things. Focus your mind on the right things. Young men, focus your minds on the right things. Do not be that person who brings tears to the society because of your actions and your character. In time to come, if you do bad, if you sow evil, you definitely reap evil.
All right, Polu.
It was hard for you to,
I can actually, unsee what I've seen, and right now it's just in my head, and I feel like, just live a good life. Fear God in all you're doing.
Fear God.
It's not like you have a mental problem or something is wrong with you.
No,
maybe
they have mental problem.
Spiritual issues that they are battling with or something. But then you know that you have an issue and then you've done this thing before. Carry yourself to the church before it's too late.
Well, what are you taking yourself to the church for?
Carry yourself to the mountain. Carry yourself to the anywhere you want to carry yourself, so that they will cure you of whatever is doing you before you go out of hand. And please, we
they'll go to church and go and see sister with a well-dressed sister. They say sister did not dress well.
Pastor will be praying. They'll be delivering the person.
Deliverance session.
So when the person did not deliver, they will hand him over to the police officer.
It's okay. I don't know where this police theory is coming from. But if you've been raped and you are going through the trauma and everything, I think you can speak up. There are so many persons out there to assist you get through it. Doctors Without Borders do that. And just in case you need assistance, I am always here to assist you get through to them. Thank you so much for doing chat area talk with us.
Bolu, I know you miss it a lot.
Bolu has influenced me.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for doing area talk with us. Opinion poll comes up shortly. She's Boluwatife Jegede Agas. That's the part of her name, but
I'm a guy, you're Agams.
Agamsi, that's the right word.
All right, and he is Dave Roberts.
Agamsi.
No. You're the only one that got that name today. I am Buchi Rafua. Thanking you for being a part of Area Talk. We really appreciate it. We'll be back here tomorrow and we'll talk about other things happening in our society. Have a beautiful evening and do stay tuned.
This is Today 95.1 FM, Port Harcourt, voice of the people.
Peace is a situation where there is no war or violence in a society. Peace allows wealth to accumulate and the society to advance.
Through peace, generations of wealth, education, technology can build up, thereby making people very prosperous and happy.
Without peace, there will be violence, war, and underdevelopment in our society. The most disadvantageous peace is far better than the most just war. Let us embrace peace for a better society.
This message is brought to you by your premium talk radio, Today 95.1 FM.
It's what I pray for.
Lassa fever is an acute viral hemorrhagic illness caused by Lassa virus. Humans usually become infected with Lassa virus through exposure to food or household items contaminated with urine or feces of infected mastomys rats. Many of those infected by the virus do not develop symptoms, but when symptoms occur, they typically include fever, weakness, headaches, vomiting, and muscle pains. Less commonly, there may be bleeding from the mouth. The risk of death once infected is about 1% and frequently occurs within 2 weeks of the onset of symptoms. To prevent an infection, please properly store your food in sealed containers. Keep your environment clean and ensure your environment is rat-free. Do not consume any item suspected to have been contaminated by urine or feces of rats. Be safe. If you experience any of the symptoms mentioned, visit a doctor as soon as possible. This message is powered by Today 95.1 FM.
My fellow country people, I know say this season no easy at all though, but make we no worry. Everything go dey stable very soon. You see this coronavirus, it go soon become old story. Make we no lose hope. Make we just try follow everything when news they tell us. Wash our hands with soap and running water. Use hand sanitizer join. And most importantly, try sit down for house with our family. Oh yeah, relax. May we just dey dance cocoa below. Because we know say everything go better for the country. This coronavirus, himself go waka pass. Make we try stay safe. Now today 95.1 FM power this message, yo. Now we be the voice of the people.
Only matter your carry.
There is never a dull moment of this dial.
But let's get on now to what is happening here in Nigeria.
In the southwest, we have 136, south 131, southeast 30. I'm not talking about the ones that died months ago. And Mr. President is busy traveling.
The foundation in this democratic era we're experiencing today, honestly, believe me, the person who soiled it is Obasanjo. At the time he was tearing his party card, I was very ashamed. He didn't notice that he was tearing himself.
How long will you keep on complaining?
We keep you informed, thrilled, and inspired.
I need to select. I like every kind of woman. But man, light skin does it for me. No, I'm not racist. That's what I'm saying. I could take anybody. You know what I'm saying?
We are your premium talk sports radio. Today, 95.1 FM. Don't touch that dial.
All right. We've got to go. It's 11:31.
This is Today.
You deserve more from us. The rest.
Excellent. You're welcome to the program. Let's talk. Flood has become a major issue in our society. Was there no proper drainage done for this flood? For this flood to be done? And it gets me thinking.
You see how difficult it is for them. Not all hosts know about the game. Hello and welcome to your number one news and talk radio station, Today 95.1 FM. We've got loads of news and gossip for you, but first off, let's go on a commercial break.
Radio has never been this good. Today,
glad you know now.
Today 95.1 FM, good morning.
My name is Ifeanyi. I'm calling you from... Hello?
Yes, Today 95.1 FM, good morning.
My name is William. I'm calling from Port Harcourt.
All right, William from Port Harcourt, go ahead.
Talk radio.
You have a right to say no, right? All right.
I'm calling from Unipua.
Okay, thank you so much from Unipua.
We are the station that needs no introduction. Of course, you know, we give the best in news, sports.
You like football, right?
Entertainment, politics. In fact, call it talk.
Yes, we know there's a lot you want to hear, and that is why we talk about everything.
Talk radio.
We're right before you. It's just a dial away. This is your number one premium talk radio. Today, 95.1 FM. Voice of the people.
95.1 FM. Voice of the people.
And we're back.
Crying out loud, why do you leave me at this point in time? Oh my God, in my life now. Couldn't do anything like that to me. What on earth did I do to this?
Suicide is a practice that is fast gaining dominance in Nigeria. Suicide is the intentional act of taking one's life. Within the first quarter of 2017 alone, many Nigerians have subscribed to suicide as a means to escaping depression, severe anxiety, acute stress, terminal diseases, lack of money or hope for survival, mental disorder, or even a heartbreak. The World Health Organization revealed that no fewer than 1 million people die annually from suicide, which represents a global mortality rate of 16 people per 100,000, or one death in every 40 seconds. It is also a fact that approximately 10 to 20 million people attempt suicide every year. But is anything worth dying for? Suicide is a major public health concern, but it is preventable. Talk to someone when you feel depressed. You can also prevent others from a suicide attempt by contacting the Nigerian Suicide Prevention Initiative on 080-621-06493 or 080-921-06493. Choose to live today because life is beautiful. This message is powered by your premium talk radio, Today 95.1 FM, the voice of the people.
Some people will carry human head in their boots and they will not search them because they are collecting bribe.
When they go collect salary, then go say government need to pay them break.
All these taxi drivers safe. They don't even get papers. Even driver's license safe, they no get.
Hey, you back there. Hold on there.
Their cars are in bad shape, very, very bad shape. They have no ethics of driving. That is why they will continue to bribe so that they can have their way.
I will shoot you down. I will shoot you.
Headlight, you no get. Side mirror, you no get. Motorway to better carry animal. Now you take put for road to carry human being. You never even wind the motor when rain they fall. You no get conscience at all.
Jake, you be number 15. You be number 5. Mona no forget on a number.
Let's allow them do their job. Do not obstruct justice by giving or taking bribe. Avail yourself a check. Even you, Oga driver, stop reckless driving and always update your papers. This information
is brought to you by Today 95.1 FM,
voice of the people.
Officer, give me change. Now 1,000 I give you.
Every child deserves to be happy. Every child deserves to laugh. Years after Nigeria adopted international prohibitions of child labor into law, millions of children in the country are still engaged in child labor activities. The International Labour Organization estimates that about 25% of Nigeria's 80 million children under the age of 14 are now in the workforce. Every child deserves a childhood. Let us all rise in every hood to give every child, regardless creed, belief, or tribe, a pleasant childhood filled with laughter. This message is brought to you by the voice of the people, Today 95.1 FM.
FM, voice of the people.
And we're back.
Welcome to Opinion Poll on your premium talk radio, Today 95.1 FM, voice of the people. I am Buchi Rafwa, and like I said, it's time for us to begin Opinion Poll. And well, of course, it's the program you call in and share your opinion, your thoughts on issues, whatever the issue will be. That's what we will be discussing on tonight. Well, some days back, we talked about Edo State and the crisis going on in the APC at Edo State. And we also talked about the visit that was paid to Bola Tinubu the national leader of the party, by the current governor of Edo State, Obaseki, and some other governors. But, well, we basically talked about it. And over some days now, since Monday till date, today's Wednesday, a whole lot has been going on in that regards the APC, that the two factions in APC, Obaseki and Oshomole. And, well, I would love you to take a listen to this particular clip. Well, has gotten been monitored on a television program from Port Harcourt here. But this was the stance of the Edo State governor some months back. And, well, I'll carry you through on what the current situation is. But kindly take a listen to this one.
And anybody who cannot comply with the party structure, the president say, go and build the party from the base, from the word. That is what we are doing. And anybody who cannot comply with the party structure has to leave the party. And we are warning the suspended national chairman. If he continues with his activities in Edo State, I will show him that I am the governor of Edo State. Because while he was governor, he will not tolerate a fraction of the misdemeanors and misbehavior he's undertaking today. So I have decided and declared that if Comrade Oshomole comes here to our state to say he wants to disrupt the activities of the state or the party, we will deal with him the way we know how best to. Okay? We are the dominant party here. Other people want to come and join us. We don't want to scare them away.
All right, that's what Obaseki had to say some months back. But like I pointed out, recently he paid a visit to the national leader of APC, Bola Tinubu. And, well, he also paid a visit to the President Muhammadu Buhari. And, well, there were to present himself as the candidate, like I guess some other persons would do. But after that, something else happened, and it was that Obaseki started trying to. He was seeking ways to mend the fences between himself and Oshomole. That's after he paid a visit to Bola Tinubu and also paid a visit to the president. Take a listen to what Obaseki said afterwards.
I believe that he was misguided, well, not properly guided. And as governor, I'm his governor, and it is my responsibility to seek peace for my state and with all my citizens. I will continue to strive for peace. I will continue to pursue peace for the sake and interest of our people. I'm open. I have always said that, that we should talk about how to move things forward. We cannot turn back the hands of the clock. So there are certain things we just must accept and see how we can move forward and build on, where we are. So the relationship is still frosty. I'm doing all I can, doing my best to try and make it warm, trying to make just for the sake of Edo people, whatever it will take to have peace. Whatever it will take not to lose lives in Edo, I am committed. The consensus is that we have done well as a government and that people would like us to continue with the laudable programs and policies which we have undertaken over the last 3 years.
All right, that was what Obaseki had to say day back. And, well, as for today, the story is actually changed. But regards the issue of seeking peace here, the question that I guess some persons were asking is, what kind of peace exactly are we looking at here? Because clearly the Oshomeles faction, like most of us would love to say, already has a candidate. And do you think seeking peace right now, do you see it as taking medicine after death? Because, like he said, the relationship between himself and the former governor of Edo State is really frosty, and it's rusty, and so many issues. Like there's been so many talks. You listen to what he said earlier. That's some months back, and obviously the Oshomeles faction already have a consensus candidate. Now, speaking about the consensus candidates, something really interesting actually happened today. And okay, just before I get to that now, the Obaseki had something to say today, and well, he had something to say to Oshomole regards the election and the primaries in Edo APC. So the governor, at that time, Governor Obaseki, he asked the national chairman of the All Progressive Congress, that's Adams Oshomole, to rescue himself from the party's governorship primaries in Edo State because he is an interested party. Now, on that grounds, I guess I listened to some persons and they were of the opinion that on that grounds, it's actually making sense because he's interested. And what would you be expecting of a chairman, a judge, you being a judge over a case you have certain interest in? Would there be any sort of bias? But well, like I said, today Obaseki said something to Oshomole, and I'd love you to take a listen to exactly what he said.
Natural justice for a man to be a judge in his own case. So I think the honorable thing to do is for him to recluse himself and let's have a free process and then let's reconcile so that we can build a party.
All right, that's what the current governor of Edo State had to say regards Oshomole's stance in the issue of the governorship aspirant who gets the tickets of the APC. Like I said, he said Oshomole should stay away from the primaries because, in his word, it is against natural justice for a man to be a judge in his own case. Now, away from that one, something really interesting happened today. And, well, some persons feel like, okay, this just gets really interesting and it just, I don't know what the word is, but it gets interesting as the day goes by. So one of the Edo State governorship aspirants on the platform of the All Progressive Congress, according to The Punch, at that time, Chris Oge-Woenyi, has said the consensus arrangement, which threw up Pastor Osage Ize Iyamu, has collapsed. So he said that he said this while he was speaking to newsmen after submitting his APC governorship and expression of interest and nomination forms at the party's national secretariat in Abuja as at today, Wednesday. He was one of the 7 aspirants who stepped down for Ize under the consensus agreements, according to this report by The Punch. Now, here is his word. I quote now: "We practice democracy. We started with consensus arrangements because we believed with unity we can defeat the current governor, that's Godwin Obaseki. But when we heard that the consensus aspirant was inviting another person to be running mate, that is, outside the 7 aspirants that dropped, and I came second during our interview, I told him, that is a Yamu, that it is not acceptable." So that is Ogwenye's stand right now, according to this report. It is not acceptable. He came second, and the issue now Ogwenye is having, don't forget, he said that they felt that he believed that in unity they can defeat the current governor. But based on the fact, I don't know, based on the statement, some persons would want to think that probably he had hopes of becoming the deputy or the running mate. You know, actually, some persons feel that, well, as long as you are like, since there's a consensus, it's just that it works differently in Nigeria, yeah? Because if you emerge as the party's flag bearer, I would want to believe that you are allowed to pick whoever your running mate would be. Well, I guess in politics, in court in Nigeria, somehow it's your party that's, well, based on this particular one, it's a consensus. Everybody agreed that, okay, you should go. So, I don't know, to some extent, it's expected that they would also want to say this should go with you or this should be a deputy and the rest of it. But that aside, the bottom line now is that Ogwenye is now saying that this consensus thing, this consensus plan is failed, because I was the second runner-up. I came second during our interview, in his words. And, well, this is not acceptable. You cannot pick a running mate outside the 7 aspirants that dropped for you to become that flag bearer in that particular faction. So in your thoughts now, do you think this is like an advantage for Obaseki? Because according to his words, it was clear that they did it because they felt together they would be able to defeat Obaseki. But now one person is already seen differently. And what is left, what is expected, what comes out? But before this Ogwenye's issue, you listened to the stance of Obaseki some months back. I believe Kiari was alive back then. And, well, when the heat was still up, I think it's higher now. But that was the initial Vox Pop you listened to was Obaseki some months back. And then after he met with President and the national leader, he started talking something. He started saying things about seeking peace and trying to do everything possible to make sure that the party stands. And oh yeah, he has said that there were allegations that he already got a form from the PDP to run under the PDP. But he said no, he wouldn't do that. He is for APC and he would run in under his party's umbrella. But what do you think, based on the different transition? Initially, it was that, God, no one can take me out. I am this, I am that. And then after the visit, we started hearing talks about seeking peace. And today we're hearing stay away because, well, you cannot be a judge over a matter you have an interest in. I'd love to get your thoughts generally on what exactly is going on with Obaseki's faction and Oshomele's faction. And knowing fully well that Ogwenye is now saying that, well, this cannot happen. Whatever consensus that took place, it is failed because you cannot pick a running mate outside the remaining of us, those that actually stepped down for you to become the flag bearer under the Oshomele's faction of the Edo State APC. The numbers are 0817-0000951 or 0810-9510951. And you can send WhatsApp messages or text messages, that's SMS, to the number 0701-933-9962. Let's get your thoughts on this issue tonight. Good evening to you. Welcome.
Good evening, Bushira.
Good evening.
JP. I am calling from Makaboka.
You're welcome. Go ahead, please.
Yes, you see, well, from a statement of Godin Obaseki, I am strongly in support of his statement. Because why I say I am in strong support of his statement, the former governor, if he left the former governor to do the way he thinks in his mind, the former governor will want to feel that he owns the state without knowing that every person is entitled to his own opinion in that state. You understand? Another issue again is if Oshobulim bring Pastor Osagi, you understand?
I'm listening. Go ahead.
Want to control him again, and then in a situation where that one will say no, you won't control me. Another problem again. So we should allow it. Let them a level playing ground should be played in Edo State. So I am in strong support with Godin Obaseki over his statement.
All right.
Correct.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. Thank you so much for calling in. 95.1 FM.
Hello.
Hello. Good evening to you. Welcome.
Yeah. How was your day?
Very well, thank you. How was yours, please?
Yeah, very good.
All right. Go ahead.
Yeah. Buchi, you see, Obaseki, one Obaseki. You see, the kind of children we have today, how sharp they are. Even a 5-year child who knows what has been going on will not take that words of Obaseki, what he's talking about. Because, Buchi, hello, Buchi.
I'm listening. Go ahead.
Because this Obaseki, as they always say, is no one who first throw the blow in a fight that will win the fight. Obaseki has thrown 3 blows and he has seen no way of winning the fight. He forced a gang up to remove Adam Oshomole as suspend him as a chairman of the party in the state. He went further to try to remove him from the national chairman. He failed. He now made his arrest for him to be arrested. But he failed. Now he's coming back to say mending of peace, and now he's bringing Edo people. He says he's doing it for the sake of Edo people.
So do you think it's like medicine after death? Do you think it's medicine after death? The damage has been done already.
It's medicine after death.
Okay.
And looking at the other aspirant who is saying the consensus can no longer go the way it was. You see, some of these politicians, they are like when you throw a dog a bone, the dog will get hold of the bone and be busy with the bone. Let me tell you, it's like maybe they have thrown some little money to that man, and he's coming out to tell us 1 and 2 things that the concession will not hold. Will not be too far.
So do you think this would be a major challenge for the Oshomole's faction? Because now one of those that partook in the consensus of bringing up Osagi as the aspirant from that faction, do you think this action now would be some sort of challenge to them?
The truth is that as things keep unfolding, we'll get to know. But one man now cannot stop it. For him alone to come out to say he's no longer interested in that consensus does not mean anything, does not hold water. But if time goes on and the other ones they choose to back up, then definitely I would say things will begin to go wrong. But however, I tell you, they have given Obaseki a red card. There is no way. I've always said it. Only 2 things that can save Obaseki. One, if he goes to God and God chooses to have mercy on him, good for him. And also, secondly, if he goes to the general Muhammad Buhari and Buhari chooses to help him, also good for him. But outside these two, Obaseki has been given red card. Nothing any other man can do to return or change that red card.
Okay.
Thank you, Buchi.
Thank you so much for calling in. Well received. 95.1 FM. Hello. Good evening. Alright, do also call back if you can. 95.1 FM. Good evening.
Hello, good evening, my sister.
Good evening, Professor Ekiti.
My sister, a lot of drama that is happening in this education. I started laughing. Which, if some party did not forget about the issue of their godfatherism, that you are the one that put me there. After I won the election, you be controlling me. It's the most of the problem that is happening in this Edo state, as I'm telling you now. Which, if they don't even take time, because I believe after do their primary election, anybody that is not satisfied will go to court, and they'll be doing that court. The election will come, and they can even nullify their party that they don't even have any representatives for that political party. So it is for best for them now to sit down, make sure they arrange their house before they come to the public. Because at least the former governor of those states has ruled 8 years. He should leave those states for them. For somebody that just come, he should just forget that I am the one that brings you come to the power. It's no problem. Thank you very much, my sister.
All right. All right, Professor Kitty, thank you for calling in. And I lost this one. It's 00817 0000951 or 0810 9510 951. And like I said, you can send a WhatsApp message or an SMS to the number 0701 933 9962. Now, don't forget, in a statement that was signed many months back by the APC National Organizing Secretary Ima Ibediro, the party said that the primaries will commence with sales of forms to Edo governorship aspirants from May 20 to May June, and the date was also given for Edo states. And, the APC said its Edo governorship primary will hold on June 22. And they also gave for Ondo State. Now, before June 22, what are you expecting, though? I'm sure we're expecting lots of talks and drama. I don't know. Like Professor Ekiti pointed out. 95.1 FM. Good evening.
Hello, good evening.
Good evening to you. Welcome.
Yes, my name is Imam. I'm calling from the chair in River State.
Welcome, Imam.
Yes, in line with the statement of the governor, Edo State Governor, Obaseki. I guess Adam Soshimodo in respect of APC. You see, I am sure of that statement. Adam Soshimodo should stay away from that election. Adam Soshimodo is the man that devastated APC for national. Adam Soshimodo is confused. So Adam Soshimodo should step aside in that election. Adam Soshimodo is not a transparent leader. He's confused. So he should step aside for that election. He should step aside because he's an untransparent human being. He's the one that devastated APC. We are waiting for him at River State here. If reconciliation is not done in River State, that isn't like APC Congress in River State at all. That man has devastated APC, and Adam Soshimodo is confused.
I think you should just stick to your opinion and stop
calling him a confused person. My opinion is that Andrew Shimoda should step aside for that election. He should step aside. He has no right on that election. He should step aside. Thank you.
All right. Okay. Thank you so much for calling in. I would really appreciate if we don't defame anybody's character and just stick to our point and our suggestions and opinion as well, rather than talking down on anybody's character. 95.1 FM.
Good evening, Buchi.
Welcome. Good evening.
Okay, my name is David West.
David West, welcome. Go ahead.
All right. You see, for me, I think the governor of Edo State, His Excellency, with all due respect to him, Godwin Obaseki, had created so much problems for himself. Let us not forget the fact that Shomole went against all odds to say, Godwin Obaseki, you are the governor of Edo State.
And also, he even had a clash with Iyamu back then.
Yes, and not only Iyamu. Obaseki was far away in America also. His own brother, Don Pedro Obaseki, was right on ground with the APC. But because of the love and the coming in of Dangote also played a role, is a factor in Obaseki becoming the governor of Edo State.
So,
because of Dangote's role too, his own brother Don Pedro was not given the ticket. Now, Obaseki finally became the governor of Edo State. All he is doing is to fight Oshomole here and there. Go to Edo State. Oshomole built a very beautiful state-of-the-art hospital. What did Obaseki do? He refused to put that hospital into use. The next thing is setting up a panel to probe Oshomole on that hospital. That is not enough. Like one other caller said, he made an attempt to remove the man as the national chairman. It did not work. He made an attempt to remove him from the party from the world level. It did not work. Look, Oshomole I know too well. I'm not speaking for him. But several persons have come up to see how they can make peace between Oshomole and Obaseki. In my humble opinion, Obaseki was not forthcoming. He was being deceived by some members of the party there who think they will stand for him. But when the chips are down, they will not be there for him. The former chairman, national chairman of the party, John Odigo Oyegutu, is not helping matters because he is behind Godwin Obaseki. He is the one telling Obaseki, don't worry, I'm there for you. After all, I was one time governor like Oshomole. I was also one time national chairman of the party. We'll see how it will end. But in these circumstances, the music is changing. I think Obaseki had now begun to see the handwriting on the wall that Oshomole is indeed having upper hand. And you cannot exclude Oshomole from the APC primary in Edo State. One, he is from Edo State. Two, he's a member of the party. Three, he's a ranking national member of the party. So you cannot say he's not going to be part of it. If Obaseki is saying that for the sake of natural justice, no more Judas in Constancia, you cannot be a judge in your own cause. Himself, Obaseki too cannot be a judge in his own cause. Then Obaseki should not partake in the primaries too. Are you with me?
I'm listening
because
to
the
you.
two of them are close ahead. So the two of them should not partake, should go out of the primaries and let another neutral people take the partake in the primaries.
Okay.
So for me, I think Oshomole is going to partake in the primaries. Obaseki too has the right to partake in the primaries. They should go in there and slug it out. But they should not forget one thing, that the interests of their party should be more paramount to them. That in the midst of this confusion, should they not lose the party's ticket they are having to any other party and begin to cry foul tomorrow.
Okay.
They should have a meeting, sit down and resolve this issue. But it's very much late. Oshomole had done everything to make peace.
All right.
Then Obaseki was busy dancing Azonto and reggae. It's late.
All right. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, David, for calling in. Oh, well, David feels it's late, but Obaseki just recently gave out a hand of peace. He's saying that, he's willing to put the safety, he considers the safety of lives in the state. He doesn't want issues. He just wants, the party to have a smooth sailing ride during this election period. And he's saying he's willing to make peace no matter what it is. But at what cost? Will he be willing to make peace at the cost of giving up his tickets as an aspirant? Would he be willing to go that far to make peace? Still a question. 95.1 FM. Good evening. Hello, good evening. I can't hear you. Please do want to call back if you can. I really can't hear anything you're saying. 95.1 FM. Good evening.
Good evening, Buji.
Good evening to you.
Good evening, Buji.
Yeah, good evening. I can hear you. Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm calling from Bayelsa.
All right.
Yeah,
All right. Name, please.
My name is Alaki.
All right, Elaji. Go ahead, please.
Yeah, Buji, you see, politics is not do or die affair. That is one thing they don't know.
Okay.
Godfatherism of a king, I believe, is destroying so many things as far as I'm concerned. When it is in time of politics like this, allow the people to play a very good role for their affairs, not for Godfatherism. Are you getting what I'm trying to say?
Yeah, I can hear you. Go ahead.
Good. Allow the people who want to do whatever thing they want for themselves to do. Not to Shomole, not to Basiki, not any other person. Allow them to do what they want to do. Why are they fighting themselves? They shouldn't fight themselves. If Mr. B wants to contest, allow Mr. B to contest. If Mr. A wants to contest, allow him to contest.
All right.
If Mr. B would be the person to take the primaries or maybe to go and sit there, let Mr. B to go and sit or Mr. A to go and sit. Don't fight anybody. That is my own opinion. Thank you very much.
All right. Thanks for your opinion. Well received. The numbers are still 0817 0000951 or 0810 9510 951. Text message, WhatsApp messages to the number 0701 933 9962. Let's take some calls before we head up to the text message and WhatsApp portal. Good evening to you. Welcome.
I'm Igwe Sunday from Rumuju.
Igwe Sunday, it's good to have you on the program. Go ahead, please.
About that, Obaseki and Assembly.
Okay.
Just start it. You know, Obaseki, that is the governor of Edo State. So, what is the problem of this Assembly putting ahead again on behalf of the contest of this primary game election? They want to finish the state. They want all the masses to die. Is it that elephant they are seeing? Is it what they want to eat? What type of elephant they never eat before? They have eaten many things for a long time. They are still dying again for that kind of a thing. To stop that elephant to remain in that house. Why they don't come out to give people another position so that other people can take position so that the peace will reign in the state?
So you feel that the two aspirants should just give it up for someone else?
They want to all the masses to die because they want when the fight will happen so that all the masses will die in the state because they have two factions. This will have this will have when the problem will happen in the state. What are they going to do? So to kill the masses and they find their way. What the problem they are causing in the state? They just like when they cause the problem, they will just go and hide themselves. No problem will going on. They will kill each other for the state. They say this doesn't happen this or this doesn't cause this. What is the problem that happen in the state? Why is these things happening? All the states, they are causing problems for all the election. They cannot do it in peaceful way.
Okay.
What's happening? So I want to tell you the report. That thing they are doing is not good in that state. They want to lavish the masses in their state so that people will die. When people die, their mind will clear. I don't know what they are fighting.
All right. Thank you so much for calling in. Okay. Let's head up to the text message portal and see what we have there. And let's take this call first. 95.1 FM.
Hello.
Hello. Good evening to you.
Yeah, my sister, good evening.
Go ahead.
You see what is happening in Edo State. I want to tell you that if the governor of Edo State does not know what is second election, he should ask the governor that finished their second tenure election. It has not been easy in anywhere.
Okay.
And if you think that anybody think that Shomole can step aside and say, Obaseki, Oyago, that person is making a mistake. Only what Obaseki can do before now is for him to go and amend the constitution that after first tenure, he should go for the second tenure, freely, without nobody contest.
Okay.
It's 200. So, yeah.
Are you still here?
Two.
All right.
3.
Okay, I'm sorry. I had to let you go. I think you were engaged in something else. But thank you so much for calling in. We have less than 9 minutes to the top of the hour. And, well, you heard what Obaseki was saying some month back. And just recently, the story changed to seeking peace and trying to make peace with Oshomole. But still today, another story came up of the other aspirants saying, well, they stepped down for a Yamu all in the name of unity, because they feel in unity they can defeat Obaseki. But Iyamo trying to get a running mate from someone outside the six that stepped down for him. It's a no, and so the consensus is failed. And with that, to bring a new dimension to the battle going on in Edo State, APC precisely, towards the forthcoming election, the governorship election in Edo State. And you also heard Obaseki telling Oshomole, the national chairman of the party, to stay clear of these activities, because he cannot be a judge on a matter he has interest in. 95.1 FM.
Hello.
Good evening to you. Welcome.
Sorry, yeah. As I was talking, my line went off.
All right, go ahead.
What I'm trying to say is that, you see, Obaseki is supposed to know that if he use calculation, election is like a. If they set one year for you, receive the exam paper. They ask you number 1 question, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then you go, you check the question. You know the one that you can answer. You know the one you're supposed to answer. You go to the one that you cannot know how to answer, calculate your brain. If the time for submitting your paper comes, if you submit the paper without answering anybody, you are a failure. So if it's for him to go for the peace, first of all, and drag Oshomole for suspension, removing him from the office, now you want to arrest him, he leave the one that's supposed to solve, which is the question that he know how to solve it, which is peace. Now there is time for him to solve the paper. You want to rush for the peace. Either you get it 100% or get it 20% or you get it 0.
All right.
So that is my own take.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much for calling in. I was going to take the messages from the text message portal, but I think we're having a little bit of challenge with that one right now, and we just might not be able to. Let's work with the phone lines. Good evening.
Good evening, Buchi.
Welcome.
Okwando Obinna is my
It's
name.
your name. Go ahead, Okwando.
Yes, I think that Obaseki is seeking for peace with Oshomole. Does not mean that he is losing the battle. I think Oshomole himself should come down from the top 3 that he is and come and accept this truth. Because as a national chairman, he is not supposed to be disgracing his party here and there because of quarrel. Go to the north, he is quarreling. South, he is quarreling. Central and Nigeria, everywhere, he is quarreling with people.
Based on what you're saying now, this particular truth, who do you think has more to benefit or has more to gain if they both agree to this truth?
My sister, both Oshomole and Obaseki will benefit because it is for the interest of their party, and both of them are the party members of that party. So I want Oshomole to stop sounding warlike every time. Since he became the national chairman of the All Progressives Congress, I have not been happy with him. So let him come down. Obaseki must go for a second tenure. I have not seen what he has done wrong. He was the one that told us that he doesn't want God for that in Edo State. Now, what is he doing there? What is he trying to form? My sister, Obaseki has done well, and asking for a truce with Oshomole does not mean that he is losing or that he is going to lose. I think APC should call Oshomole to order. I don't like his leadership style at all. For one day, I have not liked the way he is doing things. Let him come down. What we are looking for in a party is a common interest, not personal interest.
All right.
Those that he is working for their 23 ambition will be disappointed that they will never achieve it with this style of Oshomole.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much for your input on this issue. Good evening.
Good evening.
Welcome.
This is Tiget. I'm calling from Amoma.
Good to hear from you.
You see, in all this that is happening right now in Edo State, I think it's high time the national party chairman, Adam Oshomole, should understand that he has caused a lot of problems in different states, in Zamfara, in Imo State, in River State. So it's about time he choose peace. He should choose peace. He should look at peace now and let it be. Okay, I don't know actually what Obaseki has done against him. What I know is political. You understand? But he should consider that it's not the entire people of Edo State. His interest should not cover the interest of the entire people of that state. You understand?
Okay.
So the people have choice. The people got to make choice. So if at the end of the day, the APC will not have a candidate or will not put their hearts in order on time, so the people will not choose the other party, because it is not only the APC that is contesting in this election. There are other political parties taking part in the election. So it's high time they should accept peace. For the governor himself to say, I want peace. They should let peace be.
All right.
So someone when he was governor of second time. So what do you want to stop this man from a second time? So they should let peace be. And if they refuse to do it, it will be too late for them. Look at River State. They should learn. It's about time the APC in their house. They should learn. Look at River State. Look at Zamfara State. Look at Imo State. If not that God, by God's grace. Look at Bayelsa State. Things are falling apart. This chairman is not doing well. That is my personal opinion anyway.
All right.
I think he's not doing well.
Okay.
He should give peace a chance. Thank you.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much for calling in. And let's see if we can take the scope for a wrap up. 95.1 FM.
Hello.
Hello to you. Welcome.
Yes. It's to cry when the head is up.
Okay.
I'm just crying for nothing. You fight your master, no matter what. We don't fight our master in Edo. Obaseki is trying to fight his mind. He's trying to fight his master. Now he knows that he has failed. Now he's now seeking for. See, people are saying Oshomole. You know that this quarrel is not between Oshomole and Obaseki. Quarrel is between party leaders and Obaseki. Oshomole tried to amend everything. Obaseki was adamant that he doesn't want to shun everybody. People Oshomole used to put him in power. He said all of them are. Can that work? Hello?
I'm listening.
Obaseki said that Obaseki was not a politician. It was Oshomole that fought for him and made him. When he entered, they said that all the party leaders in Edo, APC party leaders in Edo State are thieves. And Oshomole was trying to let him know that it does not work like that. You cannot do with this.
All right, you should wrap up now.
So now you know that he has said he's now seeking for peace. He's gone.
All right.
It will not get there.
Okay.
And hello, the second change this you are saying, the deputy, concerning the deputy, it's not possible that somebody else from same zone can be deputy.
All right.
Yamu is from
Okay, I'm sorry. I need to let you go now. We need to go for the world news. Thank you so much for joining us on Opinion Poll. I am Buchirafwa, and all your contributions are well received and well appreciated. Or like Professor Ekiti pointed out, we have lots of drama will be unfolding up till the date the primaries take place, and even after that, when the major election takes place in September. Thank you so much. To stay tuned.
Every day, every hour, when the big stories break, depend on our 24-hour news team to bring you the latest. Whether it's happening in Port Harcourt, South South, Nigeria, or around the world, we've got you covered. On air, online, delivering balanced news and unbiased analysis. Today, 95.1 FM.
This is Today, 95.1 FM, Port Harcourt. News.
Good evening. This is the World News on your Premium Talk Radio, Today 95.1 FM Port Harcourt. I am Buchira Foa with the headlines. Sarah petitions United Nations over plans by Nigerian government to cut budget allocation to education and healthcare sectors. River State High Court sentences 3 persons to death over kidnap of UPTH consultant in 2017 and murder of Asari Toro Council official in 2015. River State House of Assembly announces passage of 15 bills since its inauguration in June 2020. And on foreign scene, British Prime Minister Boris Johnson joins to condemn killing George Floyd in United States. Now the details. The Federal Executive Council has approved over 8 billion naira for the commencement of work at the Farinurua waterfalls in Nasarawa State. Reports say the multi-purpose dam project, which started in 2003, was taken over by the federal government in 2018 with the objective to provide water for irrigation and 20 megawatts of power. The initial project includes a 20 kilometers access road, an embankment, and spillways. The approval was made at the 3rd virtual Federal Executive Council meeting chaired by President Muhammadu Buhari. The federal government says only 5 airports will be reopened when flight operations resume on Saturday, June 21. A circular by the Nigerian Civil Aviation Authority said aside the 5 selected airports, all others are to remain closed for further assessment. The memo further revealed that Nigeria's airspace remains closed to international flights. The domestic airports that will be opened include Omagwa International Airport, Port Harcourt, Nnamdi Azikiwe International Airport, Abuja, Murtala Mohammed International Airport, Lagos, Sam Mbakwe Airport Owerri, and Malam Aminu Kano International Airport, Kano. The Socio-Economic Rights and Accountability Project has appealed to 3 United Nations special rapporteurs, urging them to immediately reverse what it described as unlawful, disproportionate and discriminatory budget cuts to education and healthcare in Nigeria. Serap also urged the UN to stop the authorities from spending 27 billion naira to renovate the National Assembly complex. The special rapporteurs include Special Rapporteur on the Rights to Education, Kombo Bari, Special Rapporteur on the Right to Health, Danius Puras, and Special Rapporteur on Extreme Poverty and Human Rights, Olivia De Schurter. In the revised 2020 budget approved earlier today, the federal government reportedly gave the National Assembly 27 billion naira for the renovation of its complex, with a cut in health, universal basic education budget by over 50%, while the health budget is reduced from 44.4 to 25.5 billion. The UBE budget is reduced from 111.7 to 51.1 billion naira. In the urgent appeal dated June 3, 2020, by SERAP Deputy Director Kolawole Wadari, the organization accused Nigerian authorities of putting politicians' allowance and comfort before citizens' human rights. To some judiciary reports, a federal high court in Abuja has dismissed a charge of fraud brought against former Comptroller General of the Nigerian Customs Service, Abdullahi Diko, and 2 others by the Independent Corrupt Practices and Other Related Offences Commission. Justice Ijeoma Ojukwu, in a ruling, dismissed the charge in view of the oral application by ICPC's lawyer E.A. Sogunle to withdraw the charge under Section 108 of the Administration of Criminal Justice Act 2015. Sogunle told the court that despite a bench warrant issued on Diko, who has not attended court since the charge was filed early last year, the prosecution has been unable to arrest him and produce him in court. Diko was named with 2 others, including a former Assistant Comptroller General of Customs in charge of Finance, Administration, and Technical Services, Garba Makarfi, and Umar Husseini, a lawyer and owner of Capital Law Firm, as defendants. Diko, Makarfi, and Husseini were, amongst others, accused of inducing the managing director of Cambiel Limited, Yemi Obadeyi, to pay the sum of 1.1 billion into the account of Capital Law Office as a refundable completion security deposit for the purchase of 120 units of duplexes as residential accommodation for officers of the Nigerian Customs Service. Hussaini was said to have distributed the money into various other bank accounts, and for his part in the deal, he was rewarded with a sum of $3 million. The Minister of Justice and Attorney General of the Federation, Abubakar Malami, has taken over the prosecution of alleged kidnap kingpin Hamisu Bala, also known as Wadume, and 19 others charged with terrorism, kidnapping, and dealing with prohibited arms. The case commenced after a 16-count charge filed on January 21 this year by the Inspector General of Police. A senior lawyer from the Federal Ministry of Justice, Magaji Lebran, told a federal high court in Abuja that the AGF has taken over the prosecution of the case pursuant to his power under Section 174, subsection 2 of the Constitution. Justice Binta Anyako adjourned till June 8 for arraignment. Recall that Wadume and others were arrested in Taraba State last year following an ambush on a team of policemen who had gone to effect his arrest. 3 out of 9 persons who were linked to the kidnap of a consultant at the University of Port Harcourt Teaching Hospital, Dr. Alexander Akani, and the kidnap and murder of former head of administration of Asari Local Government Council, Day Spring Braid, have been sentenced to death. Kingdom Waluchuku, Uchendo McPherson Elindam, and Obinachuku were convicted and sentenced to death by hanging on count 6 of charges bordering on kidnapping and murder of Braid sometime in July 2015 at Degema. In counts 3, 4, and 5 of the charges, which borders on conspiracy, possession of illegal firearms, God knows war camp, Promise Jim, Waluchuku, Uchendo, Macpherson, Elindam, and Obinachuku were convicted and sentenced to 5 years imprisonment without option of fine. Our correspondent Uchendo Ejowo reports that Justice James Omotosho of a federal high court sitting in Port Harcourt also sentenced 5 of the defendants to 20 years imprisonment without option of fine on count 1 of the charges. Justice Omotosho also in count 2, which borders on seizure and detaining, as well as demand for 1.6 million naira ransom from Dr. Alexander Akani by the same set of sentenced them to 10 years imprisonment without option of fine. While the 6th to the 9th defendants, who are Henry Elebiga, Destiny Chidebere Wosu, Stanley Ibuchi Wosu, and Elizabeth Chuku, were discharged and acquitted from the charges. Counsel to 2 of the convicted persons, Oboyebo Barango, who also represented 2 of the acquitted persons, commended the judgment.
We don't have any issues with the judgment, but we hope that in future steps can be taken to ensure, because of their age, that these young men can come out and turn a new leaf. That is what we are hoping. 3 of them were sentenced to death, and the other 2 had life sentences ranging from 20 to 10 years. So we will endeavor to see what further steps we can take to ensure that their sentences will be reduced or mitigated, so that they can come out, become better persons in society. I will liaise with the family members. We will look at the judgment. We will get the records of proceedings. We will look at the entire judgment and see what likely areas that one can see errors in law and all to formulate appeal. But I will not be quick to say I will appeal. I will talk with the family members and ask of their opinion.
The convicted persons were arrested and arraigned by the Department of Security Services under Anti-Terrorism Act on 20th of September 2017 for kidnapping Dr. Alexander Akani at his residence in Alu on 28th of June 2017, while the former head of administration of Asari Local Government Council, Day Spring Braid, was kidnapped and murdered in 2015. In another development, the River State House of Assembly has passed 15 bills into law since inception of the 9th Assembly in June 2019. Speaker of the House, Ikunyi Owaji Bani, disclosed this during his opening remarks during plenary today. Owaji Bani, who commended members of the Assembly for their efforts so far, said passage of the 15 bills is not a mean feat. The Speaker also commended Governor Nyesom Wike for putting state funds into judicious use.
This has passed the Pension Reform Law number 4 of 2019 into law. The River State College of Health, Science and Management Technology Law number 5 of 2019. The River State Healthcare Facilities Registration Law number 6 of 2019. The River State Environmental Protection and Management Law number 7 of 2019. The River State Street Trading, Illegal Markets and Motor Parts Prohibition Law number 8 of 2019. River State Female Circumcision Abolition Amendment Law number 9 of 2019. River State Dehumanizing and Harmful Traditional Practices Abolition Amendment Law number 10 of 2019. Port Harcourt Polytechnic Amendment Law number 11 of 2019.
You are listening to the World News and Today 95.1 FM, Voice of the People. After the break, more news, foreign and sports stories. Do stay with us.
Every day, every hour, when the big stories break, depend on our 24-hour news team to bring you the latest. Today, 95.1 FM.
Talk radio. I listen to a lot of talk radio.
95.1 FM. 95.1 FM, Voice of the People.
And we're back.
Welcome back. You're still on to the World News and Today 95.1 FM, Voice of the People, and thanks for staying with us. The River State Government's Inter-Ministerial Enlightenment Committee on COVID-19 has inaugurated mobile volunteers for COVID-19 enlightenment to further sensitize Rivers residents on coronavirus. The volunteers are being mobilized to communicate properly and also embark on massive sensitization of both indigents and residents to address the skepticism being exhibited towards the pandemic. They were inaugurated by the Commissioner of Information, Paulinus Inserim, at the State Secretariat Complex. Inserim said this is part of the efforts of Governor Nyesom Wike's led administration in containing the virus. He enjoined the volunteers to visit every part of River State and sensitize the people on the existence and danger of coronavirus, and also give them guidelines to curb the spread of the virus in the state. Our correspondent reports that designated buses and personal protective equipment, PPEs, were provided for the marshals. The River State Police Command is on the trail of the remaining suspects involved in the failed armed robbery attack on a supermarket in Elelenwo area of Obiakpo local government area of the state. Police spokesman DSP Namdi Omoni disclosed this to newsmen in Port Harcourt. DSP Omoni said while two of the four-man gang were shot dead by police officers, the other two escaped with gunshot wounds. He also said a police inspector was injured in the failed armed robbery, just as he appealed to members of the public to look out for individuals with gunshot wounds and report appropriately.
Yes, I can confirm the incident at Elelenwo yesterday where four armed men went to rob a certain supermarket. We got the distress. Men of the Elelenwo police station immediately mobilized to the scene. On arrival, they were engaged. The men opened fire on our officers. In a return fire, two of them were given a fatal gunshot wound. They got to the hospital and the doctor confirmed them dead. We were able to recover 2 locally made pistol, and then the 2 others escaped. The manhunt for them is on. All hands on deck to ensure that they are arrested. We are appealing to the public to be civic enough by sharing credible information that can lead to the arrest, because they all left with gunshot wounds.
2 suspected armed robbers were shot dead yesterday in their attempt to rob a supermarket in Elelenwo. Away from River State, Edo State Governor Godwin Obaseki has asked the National Chairman of the All Progressive Congress, Adams Oshomole, to rescue himself from the party's governorship primaries in Edo State because he is an interested party. Obaseki made the call after submitting his expression of interest and nomination forms at the APC National Secretariat in Abuja. The governor said it is against natural justice for a man to be a judge in his own case. According to him, he and his colleague governors paid a visit to the APC national leader Bola Tinubu as part of efforts to strengthen the party and reassure him that they remain committed to building the party, while expressing confidence that he will win the APC primaries regardless of the mode chosen for the primaries in Edo. The governor dismissed claims that he purchased the governorship nomination forms for the People's Democratic Party, stressing that he was a party man to the core. All is now set for the commencement of operations by community police officers in Lagos. This is as Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu inaugurated committees for community policing in Lagos State. Governor Sanwo-Olu said that the launch of the State's Community Policing Advisory Committee and its operations arm, the State Community Policing Committee, was geared towards improving security in the state. Troops of the Operation Lafia Adole have killed top Boko Haram terrorists in a military operation in the northeast. The coordinator of Defense Media Operations, Major General John Enenche, confirmed this in a statement obtained by Today.FM. Enenche said the death of the insurgents followed a failed attack on troops' location at Banki Junction and response area Firgi within the 7th Division Strike Group. The DHQ noted that the terrorists who met their end were some high-ranking commanders of the Abubakar Shakal's faction of the Boko Haram terrorist group. And on the foreign scene, British Prime Minister Boris Johnson has condemned the killing of George Floyd by police in the United States, but declined to say whether he had spoken about the issue with key ally Donald Trump. Speaking before lawmakers in the British Parliament, Johnson, in his first public comments on the case, said he thinks what happened in the United States was appalling. He said he believes that protests should take place in a lawful and reasonable way, but Johnson avoided answering questions as to whether he had raised the matter with the president as Britain eyes a post-Brexit deal with the United States. Floyd, an unarmed African-American, died last week after a police officer in the U.S. city Minneapolis knelt on his neck, an incident captured on video by a witness. The Associated Press has said 2 of its journalists were shoved and sworn at by police in New York, dispersing protesters after the start of curfew on Tuesday night. AP said despite carrying press credentials and identifying themselves as journalists, officers surrounded, shoved and yelled completives at the 2 men who captured the incident on video. Law enforcement officials said they would review the incident as soon as possible. Dozens of media workers covering the unrest in the U.S. have reported being targeted by security forces using tear gas, rubber bullets, and pepper spray. And to end the news, here is a summary of the major stories. Serap petitioned the United Nations over plans by the Nigerian government to cut budget allocations to the education and healthcare sector. A Rivers State High Court has sentenced 3 persons to death by hanging over the kidnap of a UPTH consultant in 2017 and the murder of an Asari Toro Council official in 2015. We also told you that the Rivers State House of Assembly has announced the passage of 15 bills since its inauguration in June 2020. And on foreign scene, you heard that the British Prime Minister Boris Johnson has joined to condemn the killing of George Floyd in the United States. And that also needs edited by Victor Eziama. For comments and inquiries, please call 081-5341-8657 or 081-44 343502. Or send your emails to news@todayfmlive.com. You can also read our stories on www.todayfmlive.com. Do not forget to take responsibility. Wash your hands frequently with soap under running water. Avoid touching your face and high contact surfaces to prevent coronavirus. And that's the package of our news tonight. I am Buchira Fwa. Thanking you for listening. Good evening and good night.
Today's news, today's entertainment, today's sports, today's issues. Today on Today 95.1 FM, Port Harcourt.
Talk radio. I listen to a lot of talk radio.
95.1 FM. 95.1